What's going on, everybody? It's Carlos here from PremierReviewer, and today we're going to be talking about the Zoom H4n Pro. Now, this bad boy just came out. Now, if you know me and my channel, I usually don't like to do videos as soon as I get a product, unless it's something that I really have a lot of experience with. In this case, I don't have a lot of experience with this. This is brand new. I don't even think there's any videos out right now, but I did want to get my first impressions of this. If you want to see a full review of this, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm definitely gonna be doing that. Maybe in a month, I'll look back at this and really give you a more thorough explanation and review of this whole product. So for right now, this is just my first impressions. So let's get right into it. All right, so we have the H4n. I already did a quick unboxing. There's really nothing to it. You have your 2 AA batteries, which comes with this carrying case. It's inside the carrying case, and then you have your documentation right here. And then we'll get to the actual unit itself. So if we take a close look around the unit, there's something that I'm gonna point out right away, and that is that it takes forever. As you see, I'm pressing the power, and it literally will take about 30 seconds or so to actually power on. And while it's doing that, we're gonna go over some of the features. So right off the bat, holding this, I gotta say I'm really impressed with the overall build quality. The build quality is really nice, but I know that this rubberized material feels really good in the hands. It doesn't feel like it's gonna slip. It gives you some really good security, and as you see, it's finally on. So let's move along to the actual side of the unit, and you see you have your remote, your headphone and line. So that's if you're gonna connect it to your DSLR of whatever sorts. You have your volume up and down, USB, and your power and your lock in a sense. So that is that side. Let's move over to this side. Little bum that it didn't come with a SD card. I actually have one of my own in there. And since I moved to 4K, I had a couple of 32 gigs that I really couldn't use no more, just because the write speeds weren't quick enough anymore. So I have a 32 gig SD card in there, which is formatted inside. That's one of the things you're gonna wanna do, is you're gonna wanna format the card inside the actual unit. Don't do it outside the unit, make sure you do it inside the unit. You have your record volume here, and you have your menu, and then you also have your scroll wheel, which it seems to be okay. It's very tactile, all the buttons are tactile. So again, this is pretty much an identical replica of the H4n, this being the H4n Pro. But you have your stereo, your 4-channel, and your mono. I believe that's what that stands for. You have your input for your mic here, which you see it's on, and then you have your 1 and 2. So you have your 2 XLR and 1/4 inch, so it's a dual purpose. Cool thing about that is they brought these hinges here, so it locks in place, and when you want to release it, you just press down and you'll release the XLR. Also, if you have AC power or DC power, you can obviously connect it to that. You don't get a cable inside this box, just like you don't get a USB cable, which is, I guess, is fine. At this day and age, we pretty much have all those things. The AC adapter, that's something that you can get down the road. Again, it takes 2 AA batteries. It has a 1/4 20 right here, which is nice. Like if I wanted to stick it on this tripod, I can, which I will soon. Also, one of the things I was really happy about is the speaker. At the time when I was just testing things out, I couldn't find my headphones, even though they're right there now. But the speaker sounds really good for it being this size. I was really impressed with that. What makes this unit so good is the fact that it has the same exact preamps that the H5 and H6 have, and that's one of the reasons why I bought this. Also, one of the things that I've noticed of the difference between the Pro and the previous model is the backlighting. Before, it was an orange, very old school, kind of like the H1, which I also have. But I like this. It's a little easier on the eyes. Definitely looks better with the unit overall. We're gonna do a sound test. Right now what you're hearing is my lav system going into my Rode. into my A7R Mark II. So what you're hearing is the actual sound of the lav system. And then we're gonna switch over. All right, so right now I'm still talking with my lav mic. Let's switch over to the actual H4n Pro now. All right, so what you guys are hearing now is from the H4n Pro. Now, like I said, this thing sounds really good. If you guys notice, I have vaulted ceilings, so the reverb and echo is kind of crazy in here, but this actually does a good job. Now you see it's probably about a foot away from my mouth. One thing, if you're gonna use it like this, I would say I would get a like pop filter or some sort of windscreen that would cover that, just so you don't have some of that. You heard that? Like it's pretty bad. It's very sensitive in that department. It also picks up really well. Like let's say I turn this around, you could hear that I turned it around, but you can still hear my voice pretty good, which is really impressive. Now let's turn this back around here. Actually, let's connect the XLR, my MKE 600 to it. So connected in slot 1. All right, so now I have that turned on, and now that's the difference. This sounds really good. I have the MKE 600 hooked up XLR to the first port, and it really sounds really good. Now let's switch back so you can hear the difference between the mics and then the MKE 600. So we'll go back to these mics right here. All right, so now you hear it picks up a little bit more room, obviously, because you have the difference between a directional mic versus something that's going to pick up a little bit more of the room tones and stuff like that. But again, it still sounds good. So let's go back to the MKE 600. And we're back with the MKE 600, and you can see it sounds fantastic. This recorder is really good. Now, one of the things that I did notice about this recorder the previous generation is it really struggled with certain phantom powered mics. Now, right now I don't have this on phantom power, but I did test it out yesterday and it did work fantastic. But I noticed that certain mics like the MKE 600 with the original H4n did have some problems with actual getting the volume enough or high enough to be able to power this mic. Now, again, I have a battery in there. I did that just because I was testing something else out. But again, my full review will come out later. This is just my first impressions. And I got to say, I am really impressed with this. The full day that I spent yesterday messing around with this, getting familiar with it, one of the things that I really do like is the menu system. It is not hard. If you guys want to see me do a breakdown video on how to maneuver through the menu, let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to implement that. Maybe I'll do a 3 video, one breakdown around the whole actual unit, and then one inside the menu and what settings would go really well. Again, I had a little bit of experience with the H5 when I was at NAB with the crew, and I gotta say that this is really comparable to it. Obviously, you have more features with the H5. I don't need all those features. That's why I went with this one. I saved a little bit of money in the process doing it. But if you're looking to upgrade from the H4n to the H4n Pro, the fact that you're using now the better preamps, the same preamps as the H5 and H6, I gotta say it definitely makes a difference in quality. I really do think that. Now what I'm gonna do is a quick silent test so you guys can hear what it sounds like as far as room tone. So we're gonna switch back here. All right, so we're back to the actual H4n, and now we're just gonna stay quiet and see what you pick up. There you go. So it's a really nice low noise floor, which is what the preamps are all about. Having that is really a nice feature. Again, the LED backlights I really like. But guys, I'm not going to take too much more of your time. Like I said, I will be doing a full review, a breakdown of this unit more in depth. So make sure you subscribe for that. And let's close this out. So guys, again, I'm really loving this. It's been a wise investment for my channel. I'm really excited because it really is gonna up some of my audio and quality game. And that's really big because if you guys know already, audio is 50% of making good videos. So having this is definitely gonna up the game. Also remember, subscribe because the full review of this will be coming within a couple of weeks, so you don't want to miss out on that. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm glad I was able to get my hands on this and share it with you guys. And like I always say, until next time, I'll see you around.